We're here. And it's winter. And it's cold. It's quite the sorcery. Winter sky. It's one mana, one red mana. Oh, please. Heat me up. It's so cold. And we've got nothing better to do. But to continue our acquisition of reserve list cards. I think that's reserve list. I can't remember. Anyway, I got a pile. I want to sleeve them up, so I got to make this video before I can sleeve them up. So let's talk about it. You know me, I buy stuff that I think can go up. That's stuff on the reserve list, or that stuff for my decks, whether that's stuff that others I think might use and should use, and we don't see a lot of print of, so I just put my baskets like that, and eggs fall into them. So let's go with Lichen Trope. I think that's a reserve list card. We washed our hands, by the way. I'm not touching anything with oily fingers. Lichen Trope, what does it do? It's 5/5. You put a -1 and you can remove them. Anyways, it's on the reserve list. It was really cheap, so I'm gonna buy them. These are like cheap reserve list cards, but then they're not at the bottom of the list. They are somewhat playable, somewhat something. So Seeds of Innocence. We have a Bury All Artifact, destroy all artifacts for 3 mana. That's on the reserve list. Can you believe that? And the Winter Sky. Winter Sky I like a lot. Again, flip a coin. It's not something that, you know, let me say this straight. It's 1 red for a sorcery. I wish it was an enchantment, but you know, just flip a coin for 1 red. So I'm sure there's a lot of flip coins deck. Maybe they play it, maybe they don't. Do you Snapcaster Mage into a Winter Sky on your coin flip deck? Yeah, maybe. Maybe you just do. So, oh god, that doesn't look too good. We'll have to check them out. They seem okay though. Alright, so that's the reserve list pile. What do we have here? We have Jeska, because I do have a Planeswalker deck, and I do want to go into the red, but Atraxa doesn't have red. What if there's a companion to Atraxa and you can go red? Maybe. But if I can, I might just play Jeska. Doesn't she like triple damage? She does. She hits hard. She only costs 3. It's 0. Let's go. Great card. So this is in the pile of playable my cards. Put it here. There's a reason for it. It'll all come clear. Alright. Cordial Vampire. Let me try to put some music in here. Okay. Cordial Vampire, what does he do? When he dies, you put a +1 on each other vampire you control. Why did I buy this? I think it was for a deck. Or another creature die, put a +1 on each vampire. Anyway. Reserve list, Great Whale. Also very cheap, but great effect. It untaps lands. There's a lot of cards that untap land on the reserve list, same set, that cost less, I think. I don't know. It does what it meant to do, which is untap 7 lands. It's the cheapest because it's the hardest to cast, I think, but it also untaps the most lands. So if you're in a deck that wants to use this effect, you might want this instead of the one that untaps 5 lands or 3 lands, because what if you have a combo that you have to do with this and multiple times? You'll do it less time with this. Seems like a good reserve list card. Out of all of them, this one's on top because there's already applications for it. Paradigm Shift. Remove all cards in your library from the game. Shuffle your library. I do have a deck that wants to remove all of its cards from the library. So, why am I not playing this? Reserve list. Okay, what do we have here? Lotus Bloom. think this is good music by Daniel Deluxe. But I'm gonna skip it because it might be trademarked. It's really good though. Can you imagine? You can't hear me now because of the music in the background. I'm not going anywhere. We've got time. Oh, that's a pretty image. I'm not talking about the camera work though. Holy shit. Beautiful. Gorgeous stuff. Alright, this thing is too good. It's gonna cut me out. Lotus Bloom. Again, Daniel Deluxe. Forget the past. Alright, Lotus Bloom, suspend 0, suspend 3 for 0. It's a Lotus. What is it called again? Lotus. Anyway. It's a crazy good card. If I think these suspend cards can be really good, friends. Would you play Lotus, a fucking Black Lotus? If you could, right? Would you play it? It's a valid question. And I remember some communications, some people saying, you know what, even if I can play Black Lotus, I don't think I am. Because yes, you go forward 3 mana, which is really good if you're into tournament, EDH, CEDH, fast mana. You know, the same way this fucking, where is it? Dark Ritual is. I think it's just good like that. And you can hold it, of course. Or use it, or whatever. But it does not stay. It's not like a mana rock that stays. It does go. Then you're back to wherever you were, plus some advantage, right? So, no, I do think that they really do have to find the right decks. And a deck that wants to push, and when it does, it fucking annihilators 2 and annihilators for you, because they push there with their cards with something like this. I like it. I don't know what's going on with the suspend mechanic, but you know I'm sniffing something, so I'm just gonna get a small position into them. Nothing too serious. Nothing too big either. But what if I find a deck for them? That'd be nice. Force of Vigor. Force of Vigor is gonna keep going up. These things they print not often enough. It's fine. Is that foil? Get out of fucking town, dude. I ordered a foil of this? Am I nuts? I'm looking for something to put this in. This thing will not breathe for a second. Oh god, what am I doing? Macaroni. I'm putting it in the wrong way. Don't touch. The foil Force of Vigor. Wow. Well, I don't know how much I paid for this. Probably around 30 or 40. Hopefully by the time you watch this, it's like 5 years later and this is worth something. Great cards. Cheap, I mean free cards. Destroyed some artifacts and enchantments. There's no other spell like it. We're not even playing most of these spells anymore. Unless they do multiple things, which this does, and that's free, so... Great card. Totally the kind of cards you would sideboard if you could, you know? And if you could go in the color identity. So this is cards I play with. This is gonna go in my deck. Too good not to. Wow. What the fuck am I buying, dude? I'm trying not to hurt Teferi. I know it looks bad, but it looks fucking horrible, Chuck. What do you mean? So does Teferi go in the Planeswalker deck? Most likely. Just about how oppressive it looks so weird, dude. It's so like fade. Not pretty. At least it displays this pretty well. Well, good music, but I'll have to change it. We might play this. Probably will. Holding turn foil, full art. I do think they are the bomb, you know. Investing somewhat in these. They have to double, they can easily triple. They're fucking glorious. Alright, Shivan Meteor. So just some more suspend cards that are really cheap. That I'm thinking maybe a red deck would want to play, or a suspend deck that has some red in it. Yeah, this is already a proven card. Gargantuan, Gargadon. In the suspend mechanics. We have an Archaeomancer's map. Again, a good card that has been printed once. You can wait. You can wait till it's reprinted. I just think that 15 bucks is pretty cheap for that, and you should pick it up. I think it's a great card. A lot of white decks are going to play it. A lot of them are going to play this. Okay. A dual heritage. I'm going to play this in the Isan. Like, fuck, man. If I can't read it. Otherwise, keep. These are printed a lot. We'll use them / sell them if they don't reprint it. I don't know. I don't know why I have 3. This guy is really cheap. Pain. He just does a lot of things. And we've seen cards that do a lot of things in Commander be really appreciated. Whether it be the post thingy that does like 5 things, and all these commanders that, isn't it, there's like a king one that's 5 color identity that does like 5 things. So this guy is just black, has 5 things you can do. I just think that can be a commander. There's gotta be a black deck that's gonna break this thing apart. Just really cheap. I said, yep. Again, not spending money not spending money I care to lose. You know, this is absolutely just whatever. Nothing is proven yet. Same for these, really cheap. Furion Core. Discard a card, draw a card. When you discard an online card this way, it deals damage equal to convert mana cost target creature or player storm. So you would just play it as a finisher, man. You're gonna hit people for I don't know how much. Seems okay. Again, too cheap not to pick up. When I say cheap, I mean like less than $1. Mostly 50 cents or less, 25. Sometimes they're like 67 cents. I'll buy 3 maybe. For $2 or something. It's money you don't care to lose. So that's interesting here. We have Fractal Harness, which is a 21 commander, blah blah. And an equipment. Double number of +1 when it attacks. Oh, that's pretty cool. So can I use this in my Isan deck? No, it's green. Seems good. Inspiring Refrain. 6, draw 2 cards, exile, then with 3 times counter on it. So you suspend it for 3. So if I get this correctly, guys, and by the way, suspend again, brand new decks, what's going on? I don't know. It's fucking 2022 in January. I don't have a clue what's going on. For 3, you suspend it for 3 turns. And then you get to cast it. You draw 2 cards. Then you exile it again with 3 counters on it, part of its resolution. What do you mean? It means it's gonna come back in 3 turns? And then draw you 2 more cards for free, by the way. This is not just a replacement for this one. It's not a cantrip at this point. And then do that again. Forever. Excuse me. That seems like a good card for a blue player, man. Just gonna put that out there. Chat. Mana Geyser, again, we're seeing more investment in red cards that are proven, that are good, that I think people have been longing for a red deck that they recognize. And it's not just necessarily, and hats off to the red decks that combo off and do things, but I want to be able to play red my way. There's 1,000 ways to play red. These are great cards to get you there. Most of the red cards that are proven, I think, are on my list, really. It's gonna come, and it's gonna come back with a revenge. And that, my friend, is very red. Promise of Loyalty. Each player puts a vow counter on a creature they control, sacrifice the rest. Each of the creature can attack you or a planeswalker you control for as long as the vow counter is on it. So basically, you don't get to choose which creature you put it on, but you fucking destroy the rest. So who gives a fuck? And they can just keep their best creatures and it will never attack you. If it would have been for 4, I would have said this is fucking insane. This is broken. How many do I? So that sounds very interesting. But then what? It's a sorcery. You put a vow counter. Each of those creatures can attack you or planeswalker control. I'm trying to figure out, what if you move that counter? Does the vow counter say keeps that ability, which is on a sorcery, which is in your graveyard? It's not an enchantment. They can't blow it up. Right? They wouldn't blow up their own creatures because it vowed to love you forever. I want to try that. That's pretty cool. Beautiful cards, new cards, great cards coming out of these sets. Great time to be in Magic, I think. They're very interesting opportunities. Reinterpret, again, just a counterspell. You may cast a spell with equal or lesser mana value from your hand without paying its cost. I think we've seen this stuff before. We're just gonna give some counter players some option. Too cheap not to pick up. Really cheap. And I mean these, like, they're 25 cents or I don't know. Add, for 5, add a red for each card in target opponent's hand until end of turn. You don't lose this mana and step phase ends. End of turn. Exile Rousing. It's too good. I'm gonna get banned, shadow banned for music, guys. I'm sorry. I have to do it. Suspend for 2. So you get a shitload of mana 3 turns later. Again, seems like a suspend card. Not proven at all, but it is a suspend. It is a red card. It does produce mana. It does do things that we've seen before. Right? I didn't arrange this, it just happens. Seating Song, baby. You know it. Surge of Victory. What the fuck am I doing? Am I touching them? Exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. Creatures control get +X until end of turn, where X is that card's converted mana value, which is converted mana cost, by the way. New term. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, copy the exiled card. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. Shenanigans, man. Great value. Willow for 3. It's a 3/3/1. Choose target another target creature. Put a +1 on it for equal the amount of life you gained this turn or the amount of life you lost this turn, whichever is greater. Oh, that's interesting. Activate only as a sorcery. So you could have lost 10 life and made back 20, right? So that's how the mechanics resolves itself. But whenever you gain or even when you lose, you can tip one and this guy is gonna give +1 to everyone. Well, not everyone, one guy. Choose another target creature. And you can put it on some other thing too. What is this for? I don't know if I have a deck for it. It's a full art. It costs 3. It's a 3/3. It's pretty solid. It can be a legendary commander. Seems to do an effect we've never seen before. Has only 1 printing in my opinion, if I remember. Too cheap not to pick up. Put all of that together. And I'm happy to have that position. I'm not saying it's going to go up. But I'm saying, what if it's played? What if it's not printed? What if people like it, you know? And keep that together. Fluctuator, we got the originals over there. 6 of them, too cheap. Cycling, 2 or less. A lot of cards have cycling. The Triomes have cycling. The Amonkhet lands have cycling. A bunch of other cards have cycling. This is a powerhouse of a card in a cycle deck. It's a must, actually. I don't know what pile is for anymore. Alright, proven red cards. Just a copy of each like this is mostly for me if I make a red deck. Astral Vision, very cheap. Currently, I think it's like 5 or some dollars. Insane card, great card. It used to be 20, 30, possibly 40 bucks. Was very much played in Legacy, possibly Modern, but Legacy, come to me, please. Is it Bound Legacy? With the Shardless Agent combo, you fall onto this, you draw 3 cards, you keep going. Dangerous. Dangerous. I'll sleeve it up. It's the kind of card I want them to not reprint, because nobody cares for it right now. And it's a great card, and it needs to go up. It's a suspend card, by the way, for blue. This card screams, don't reprint me. Let me go up. On Mythic, too. They reprinted it at Mythic level. Just as a note, you know, keep that in mind. They had a lot of Mythics. And I think you could pick up or have 1 or 2 Mythics per booster. What was the ratio versus rares? Where you can get a lot of rares maybe per booster. But X amount of Mythics, how many? You know? Not as many as rares. Definitely not. Is it really not? Like, is it 1 per booster? Possibly 2? I don't know. Seems pretty rare. Somewhat rare. We've got 10 Phthisis by 10. Because it's so cheap. It must have been like 25 cents. And I was like, yeah, I'll buy $2 worth of Thesis. They're great cards. Suspend, they deal with something. They've always been amazing. An uncommon. I hope it was really like 10 cents or some shit. Boop. Oh, same thing here. Wheel of Fate. We got more suspend cards. Probably not $1. Maybe more. Maybe $1. I can't remember. You know, the kind of cards that you want a copy of if Cycle becomes a thing all of a sudden. This one will remove some counters for the Cycle cards. It's one of those cards that does that, and it seems really good. You can buy it back. It costs 1 blue. Or choose a counter, remove that counter. There's some of them removing 2 counters. The original Fluctuator. This is on Urza. Block. It was really cheap for the fact that it's Urza. Anytime I get a chance to buy into the old sets, I do, because I have like almost nothing from them. Not because they're rare or they can't reprint it. They can, but this, it's just an old card that at some point these sets are all going to go up because they're old, they're rare. We want good condition cards, so you get near min cards of old sets. A good idea, much better idea, also. Great looking. So they're not reserve list, but I don't want to put it into a pile of, what is that? This is not, I don't know. Just put it here. Bracers. It's a aced equipment. Whenever an ability or equipped creature is activated, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay 1 if you do copy that ability. Seems really good. So anything you do with a creature after you untap it, and it does give it haste, just FYI. It's only an equip 2, and then you only have to pay 1 to copy something that you activate. That seems really good. Is that foil? No, I wish I had a foil. That would be gorgeous. I might end up seeing play somewhere. I don't know. This one? Isn't it the same as the other one? That is, right? We'll put it with the fluctuators, I guess. Everything goes with the fluctuators. Okay, we've got, how many of these do we have? 2 at least. Of course, more are coming. And we are going to sleeve them in a second. Put them in our pile of awesome lands. So you know me by now. You know what I think about this. 2 or more other lands. You know, the land that comes into play untapped, giving you 2 colors after it's your 3rd one. Yep, they are the shit. Whirlwind of Thought. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. Pretty. Pretty. Whatever that, anything that says do this, draw a card. Every time you do this, draw a card. It has a perfect deck for it. You know, the non-creature spell decks. I think there's a lot of space for that in Commander, frankly. Great to see it. The foil, full art, Marsh Flats. Happy to see you. Yep, I do think that these are too low. At like, what is it, 22 bucks or something? Full art, foil, whatever, blah, blah. Enough. I'll buy. The time bug, man, it does remove counters from a suspended card. It's an automatic in all the suspend decks, isn't it? Interesting card. Joyrose Time Bug. And while we're at it, why not pick up a balance? Foil, new frame, mythic, balance. If suspend is a thing, balance might just be there. Does see play in some decks, modern and stuff like that, command, modern, legacy, whatever. You know, the proven card, great effect. Oh, look at this, we got a Dark Ritual etched foil. So I never seen it etched before, so I said I'm gonna buy one. Fuck it. Aren't you supposed to be foil, bro? What is this? gonna have to look at my papers. I don't know what's going on. I already have this. So Dark Ritual. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Yeah, just zoom in. For myself. Oh wow, help me please. You can see the etched foiling is just in the corner, the sides, just a little bit. And the foil stamp. You're craving for foil when you buy one of these. If you want foil, you're buying them for the wrong reason. They might change it in the future. I would have hoped that this would have been done in etched foil. They would have looked insane, but they're not. They're just fucking not. If you look, it's clearly just plastic. There's no like, nothing, doesn't feel like anything. I mean, these don't, but whatever. There's nothing special going on. Unless I'm missing something, but there's no foil. They look fantastic. It's hard to dislike them. But and they will not curl, but they're also like fucking not foil, man. Yeah, look at my foil. Not a foil. It's a sick card, I think. But you want me to look at this little foliage bullshit here? Is that what you want me to look at? What do you have here? Stop it with the bullshit. More Arid Misses. Foil, of course. There's no other way. They're too cheap. They're way too cheap. Like a foil of this right now goes for like $5 more than its non-foil counterpart. Okay, it's crazy. Crazy. Ain't nothing like that. In the pile of Arid Misses. Oh god. Please. Use no oil. Tie fingers. Must not touch the card. Gosh. Do not mistake. No. No. Alright. This is the only Sol Ring ever that is not an Expedition Sol Ring and that has a different art. And it looks sick. It looks fantastic. It keeps going up. So is it gonna do a little bit like the Expedition? Because these things, they don't stop. Nothing's stopping these madmen from buying cards at $1,000 each. So what is this gonna happen? What's going to happen to this card? We're gonna give it the treatment of humidity to try to return the bend back to normal. Blade of Selves, because someone said on YouTube, and I saw it, that Blade of Selves would be insane with Ishin, bro. Dude, can you imagine this with Ishin 2? Equip 4, Ishin it costs 3. You Myriad Ishin? What the fuck? But I mean, Ishin is a legendary permanent. This would make legendary tokens unless you're able and willing and want to make those tokens unlegendary. There is a card, of course. There is, I think, like 2. But good card. But no Ishin. Not right now. You all know what I think about those 3. 5. I should have bought them when they were $5. I'm fucking dumb. Hold up.
With Squarespace, you can sell
So,
or
Cryomes. Honestly, if you haven't played with them and fucking fetch lands by now, You should know better. Okay? You call yourself a competitive player at any point in your life. And if you care to play
Yeah.
a good mana base that you know is important for you,
Offer code Spotify for 10%
and you're not the ECEDH player, which might like them, I don't know. Mostly not, because they come into play tap, but the rest of us who do know that these cards are fucking good, you know, for casual especially, man, these are really good. You can casually buy your fetches, please, and you have no problem with your color anymore. It's a thing of the past, really. Any fetch can go and fetch this land. Like, look, I'm not kidding. Arid Mesa. Can you fetch this? Yes, it's a mountain. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want blue and green? Or did you want green and black? Maybe you want some white and blue with that mountain. Oh, maybe you want black and white with that mountain? Is that what you want? Color pie? What is that? 5 color decks have a hard time casting their spells? Stop it already. So this is literally the only Cryo. Is it ever? Not ever, but that we've seen that can't be fetched by Arid Mesa. Right. Can't have everything. Yeah, I do think they're insane, and if they haven't planned on reprinting those, they can reach 30 bucks. A near mint foil of this is already... These ones are like 45 or some shit. It's nuts. Already. So, these are the same price as the regular ones right now. This will go in the ally deck / other decks. Building. Damn is a really good card. Damn is a really good card, folks. You all know that. I know that, so buy yours. The Wrath of God. And you can just pay 2 if you want to quickly destroy something. It's pretty spike. Anything else? Alright, so Ornithopter of Paradise. It's a Bird of Paradise that any deck can play. Such a weird texture on this card, by the way. This set has such a weird texture. Don't be like scared of that when you see it. It's a thing. It's a real thing. They're like waxy. I can tell, but I'm doing my best. They're a little more waxy than your regular cards. Yeah, do you like Birds of Paradise a lot? We've got another one here. So maybe your deck wants to play that if you really like the birds. I play the birds. That's also for the decks. Retro Frame Liquid Metal Torque. This could have came out a lot worse. The image on the internet right now for this thing is so dark. You can't fucking see anything. But it comes out really nicely, frankly. Beautiful. Beautiful card, really. So I'll double check and see if people are still turned off by the image that we see. And might get a few more. They're good because they do give you just that mana, but they turn anything into an artifact. And then with fucking anything that just interacts with artifact, you can destroy artifacts, take artifacts, you know what I mean? You can do anything you want now with this card. Because it makes them into artifacts. That's why it's played. Played in any deck that can do that to artifacts, or likes to do that to artifacts. Now you can make their commander an artifact and fucking take it. Make your lands artifacts. Can I do that? No way, dude. Non-land, okay, chill. Foil Ornithopter of Paradise. Because why not? It has that beautiful art to that good feel of they tried their best for this one, you know? Scratched them good. I think that was pretty cheap. The Fabled Passage Retro Foil must have been like $5 or whatever. You go get a basic, you play it. If this is ever played in because that's why I go for these. If these are ever played in Vintage for any deck or any reason, and you know they might prefer that that old feel. Commander players who play old cards might also like it. That type of feel. And if this card ends up seeing a lot of play in Commander, which it could, not the best, but it's, you know, it's okay. Very okay, I think. And or I can play it. Oop. And that's a foil Emeria for the ally deck that we're building. That is going pretty well. So that's it for the update. Thank you for passing by. Let me actually show you more. Still here? Still here? Are you still here? Well, then you deserve to see more. Let me see. This is the Planeswalker deck. Just gonna go quickly on camera, see things that we've added. Soul Ring, full art, of course. Carpet of Flower. This one is going up. It's pretty. Happy to buy it. Not like they're gonna reprint this art, I think. And then, no, these are just investments and some cards I'm adding. We have a Teferi's Protection. We've seen it. This guy, we've seen it. Song of the Dryads, and I need to buy the other one that makes everything into a bug, indestructible bug. You remember, Dan? These are really good cards. They're like Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshare, but they stay on the board. If you can pick it up back and you can put it on some other thing, that's value. I think that's what people don't like about the feels bad of Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshare. What nobody plays, by the way. Transform my Brainstorm into an enchantment, please. I can keep using it. We've put a few of these because we have them. We've put a birds. My only invention that I have left.
Supporting biodiversity with Tree Canada.
If you ask dairy cows.
We've put the boots, full art. We're happy to see it.
Dairy Farmers of Canada.
By the way, we have not seen a reprint of a full art, just FYI.
Find out more at herefortomorrow.ca.
Did we see? I did put Rancor with Atraxa. What a dick. I think that's good. I think that might just be really fine. Library, we have this. Signet is also okay here. Full art, Triomes, Etches. Stuff. Art, I think, is insane. I haven't played it yet. Greaves is here, that's okay. Bloom Tender, the Tainted Pact, honestly, this is such a good card, folks. You need to pick one of these up. You just pay 2 instant speed, exile the top of your library until you find a card you like. If you don't play anything that you see in your deck twice, I just have 1 basic of each too. You just keep turning cards until you find something you like and you stop there. You exile it. You exile the cards, you keep the one, you put it into your hand. What's not to like? This is insane. Well, Noble Hierarch, it's cheap. Maromora is a story of success. Price Stick Study, honestly, they're like $40. I think they're always going to be $40. Till the day I die, they're gonna be $40, or they're gonna go up. And along with time, they're gonna go up. And how often are they gonna print it? They've been unwilling to print, you know, things that we've been asking for years. They keep printing other things, and they're busy printing things, but are they gonna be able to reprint everything that they need to reprint and that's been coming out? And no. I'm a believer. What else? If I find something else, it'll be next time. Peace.